Okay, so I think this is recording now. Yeah, so we're going to show you how to do the new league mechanic. Basically, this guy, or one of these people, right now it's Gwenin, but it could be any of the four of the people who show up. We're going to show up in your map. And which one shows up doesn't really matter for the exploding part of this, which is what we're going to be showing now. So it all functions the same no matter who's here for that. The different characters have a different purpose, which I'll make in a separate little video. So you have the detonator here, and you notice you get these charges. There's like a keybind button you can use to bring them up. In this case, it's V. You can change it probably. I'm not sure. And you'll notice there's like dirt on the ground, like tons of dirt, and then there's like sections of the floor which are kind of normal, right, like stone, and then you see more dirt, right? And if you notice on the dirt, there's all these little markers with like the heads sticking up, right? And then there's some markers here where you got a chest, it looks like, right? And then there's bigger heads over here. Again, this one's like a bigger chest marker, it seems, right? Because it's highlighted in yellow versus these are normal. It's basically, I'm pretty sure, just indicating like the rarity. So these are going to be like smaller, less valuable chests. These should theoretically be bigger chests. This should be like that's like a chest marker, but it's being hidden by this, I believe. That should be like probably the best chest you could get from this. And then it's the same thing with the little heads, right? So there's smaller heads, there's more medium-sized heads, then there's larger heads. And I think what that means is probably like the rarity of the monster. So this would probably be like a rare monster or something like that. And some of the other ones might be magic or white monsters. And basically when you're placing these charges, you're trying to get as much of the stuff. You can see stuff turns green when the charge is over it, like the little like graves. You can see, like, I see the big one over here. If I move this off of it, it de-highlights. If I move it on it, it highlights. And it's the same thing with the chest marker, right? So you basically want to be covering as much chests and or monsters as you can. You can kind of make the decision whether you want to kill more monsters or open more chests. But like obviously monsters give XP, chests don't. But chests can sometimes have better loot. So yeah, you can just like move this around, and these things right here, they look like chests, right? But what they actually do is it affects like an area. Now I don't know the entire how you tell like what the radius is, or if it applies to all monsters in the pack. That might be actually what it does. It might apply to like all monsters. But it gives them a mod. See, this is every 4 seconds, runic monsters regenerate 30% of their life over 1 second. Runic is a new type of monster that comes with this league, so that's all that means. But they regenerate a lot of life over 1 second every 4 seconds. And then this one, you'll see, it's like all damage from monster hits can shock, 20% chance to shock, 100% increased effective shock. And you'll notice that these have like mods that come with them, right? So this says for any chest that you excavate, 50% chance to contain additional currency items. And this one is 25% increased pack size. So the pack size is going to apply to the monsters you spawn from the ground, and this is going to apply to the chests, right? This one, 300% rarity drop by monsters. So they all have different, like, the light blue is stuff that's affecting you and giving you essentially positive benefits, right? Like, giving you more items and stuff like that. The darker blue right here is mods that make the enemy stronger. The enemies that come out of here are stronger. So that's kind of the idea with these. And these function in the same way. If you see, like, I highlight this, right? See how it turns green? But if I move it away. So these need to be highlighted by the markers here in order to activate. So it's something you need to keep in mind as you're placing these. Now, I don't know. So in terms of the placement, I've had some like buggy stuff happen, but I think the general idea is it kind of starts from this detonator, and like watch, I'll place this here, right? Because I'm trying to get as much as possible. I think you only need to like Yeah, so we'll put it here. You don't really have to min-max this as much as I'm doing here. I'm just doing it in an example to show you, right? Typically, you're going to want to be not spending all your time like super min-maxing, getting every last monster, because it's just like not as efficient that way, right? Because you're losing time doing the map, essentially. So we place that, though, and you can see it makes a line from the detonator to this. Now, there's like a limit to how far this cord can go. So, like, if I were to try and put one over here now, it's limited. See, like, it won't let my mouse go past here. And that's because the cord is not long enough. Now, if I would have started from the detonator and placed one here to begin with, it probably would have let me place it there. But because I went in this direction, now I have to kind of come back, right? So we place that there, then, okay, we're going to try and get as much as we can. Okay. So
Yes,
like that, right?
spice.
So we went from here to here, okay? And then we're going to come back this way. So we're trying to remember. And as you can see, it keeps what you've already brought up highlighted from the last one, right? So all this green stuff, it's green even though our new thing is not on it, because it's saying that basically the other circle we put down has all that stuff in it. So now we know we can kind of just like start here, right? We place that, going this way, and then we place this, right?
Jackpot.
Got all that. And then I want to key you in on something specific here, which is actually like really good for this example. So some of these boxes, most of them just have normal mods, but sometimes you'll see they have like a yellow text here. The yellow text means that it's going to spawn monsters with an immunity, so you have to be super careful of that. And again, I think it applies to like the entire grave site, I'm pretty sure. So if I were to put a explosive here and explode this, all the monsters that are going to come out are going to be immune. Now, I think the caveat to that is that the explosion happens in sequence. It doesn't happen all at once. So it's going to go the order that I put the stuff in, which means that like I'd probably actually still be able to kill a lot of the monsters here, because this would be the last thing I'd put down, so this would open last, right? But it doesn't it opens on a timer, I'm pretty sure, not based on the amount of monsters you kill. So if you're slow killing the monsters and this opens up, this immune one, it makes everything immune to lightning, and I'm a lightning build, so we don't want to do that. So you pretty much never want to touch these that are lightning, and they have a damage type that just completely like you can't do damage to, right? Unless you're like a hybrid build where you can do multiple types of damage or something like that. So we're not going to put anything leading to this because we don't want to have this active. And then I think for the last one, we're going to put it, it looks like it's not going to let us put it there. Okay. Well, yeah, it does. Okay. So we're going to put this here only because there's not really another good place to put it. And then once we put all the stuff down, like I have totems, so I precast them, right? And then detonate. Just click the detonate button there. And then like it's gonna start with the one, like I said, there's gonna be an order to it, but they do open kind of fast. Yeah, the second one's open already. Kind of get pretty hectic here. And then as you see, we got a bunch of these excavated chests, right? So we pop these open, see what we get. That's pretty much the mechanic. The amount of explosives you get, I think is pretty much, it's always been 5 once I get to maps. There's stuff down there I probably could have gotten. Oh well. But, Yeah, I think it's always been 5 since I've got to maps. Uh, in like lower level zones, it might be lower. So you might be getting like 3 or 4 where you're coming from. But that's basically the gist. You want to get as many of these like chest markers and skull things as possible to open. You don't want to open anything with an immunity. Like this one was an immunity, right? It gives the monsters immunity to the type of damage you're doing. You want otherwise though, you do kind of probably want to get these because they make the loot drops better, as you can see, right? Typically, how I did it during leveling through the story is I would look for ones that gave currency, where it says, like the chests have a 50% chance or whatever percent chance to give currency, and I would only do expeditions while leveling that had like some of those currency things, so I had a chance of getting some chaos orbs and stuff. So I had some money to buy stuff with when I hit the end game. Because a lot of times, like, you don't need to find like super good items from these, and it's going to be hard finding good items from them anyway. If that makes sense. That's pretty much it, and I'm going to do a video on the other part next. So yeah, thanks for watching.